all of your educational life?
On the day that the things came out, I was working at as a printer.
Okay.
And it was a really busy day.
A lot of spelling mistakes.
It was a really busy day, so you're bound to forget.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I had to use gold ink that day.
Oh.
And it's,
Yeah,
I mean, you're
yeah,
not a
yeah,
printer,
yeah.
so you don't know.
No, that's the biggie, innit?
But it's tough. You've got to really get your rollers clean.
Carl, play a record, mate, and good luck with the exam results. Hopefully we'll have them for you by next week.
PJ Harvey on XFM 104.9, the home of the classics.
Absolutely.
Classics.
Classics.
Oggy.
Oi, oi, oi.
Well, we were talking earlier about this, as this book, They Died Young, right? And there's all these theories about these people, like famous people that, aren't really dead. And I remember speaking to someone about this, okay? And they said to me, Bruce Lee is not dead, right? They said he's not dead, right? And I thought I said, well, how do you know? He's going, no, it was a whole big thing by the Hong Kong government, and he's actually working as an undercover cop in Hong Kong, using his kung fu powers. Now,
no, apparently he faked his own death, Carl,
Yeah.
so that he could work undercover for the Hong Kong
Yeah.
police, infiltrating gangs, the triads, that sort of thing.
Now, my point is this: if you're going to use someone undercover in Hong Kong, right? You know, an undercover cop. I suggest using the most famous Chinaman of all time. That would
that's
be
a guarantee.
Yeah. So, you know, when he's taking away a gang, they're going, you look a bit like Bruce Lee. He's going, no, I don't know. See this moustache?
It was a bit wonky.
Well, just take my word for it. I'm not Bruce Lee, all right? Well, all that stuff you did when you punching us and kicking us and chopping, yes. But, I'm not.
It does look a bit like the stuff in my film, in his films.
In his films, yeah.
But it's not.
It does
it's just
not.
coincidence.
No, yeah.
The thing is, though, I'm not sounding bad here, not trying to offend anyone, but they do all look the
Right!
same.
They do all look...
No.
No, I can go on, no. You know, we're having a serious chat.
Right.
I'm not here to upset anyone.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, over here...
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not... Yeah, but you know me, I'm not out to upset
Right.
anyone.
Right.
You're not a racialist.
No.
What
So-
do you mean? Are you saying
What
Orient
I'm saying
people
is-
all look alike?
Well, look at the people over here, right?
Yeah.
With, like, you've got ginger
this-
people. You've got people with black hair, you've got people who are fat, people who are thin, but they're all so sort of fit, which isn't a bad thing. They all do that sort of thing in the park. They're all fit. It's a place where black hair... I mean, when they come here, they take pictures of people with ginger hair, don't they? Because they don't get them over there. That's what I'm saying. So calm down. Jeez.
So you're saying that Bruce Lee, the most famous Chinese movie star of all
They
time...
can't tell them apart.
Other trial members would... How are they... I mean, how are they going about the business at all? I mean,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, how would they even realise that was the guy?
What do they have to do? Wear numbers in, you know, because there's a billion
No, but
of them.
when you know them, then you know...
So what? Oh, I see. They can tell each other apart, can they? Well, they got signals. This is amazing, isn't
That's
it?
how he got away with it.
Simon, which one are you? Just raise your hand, Simon. Yep. Chang, which one's Chang? Chang, good. Yeah.
Oh, it must be murder, mustn't it? Just
That can be the only...
people going into the wrong houses all the time, getting off with their mates' wives.
Exactly.
Yeah,
A nightmare, then.
It must be a nightmare. Please don't complain. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm really sorry to anyone that's... he honestly does not know what he's saying. XFM 104.9.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Go on.
I don't think I am offending anyone.
Okay, fine, that's all right then.
And you know that I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I know you don't.
Before
I know.
I swore
Oh, I
on the
know.
radio, I said, right, if you got kids in the car, turn your radio down.
So before you make any potentially racist remarks, just point out if you are listening and you might be Oriental. Please don't take offence.
Or go... Oh.
You know what I mean. So
Yeah.
go on then, so what was this other dead person? Who's not...
Can't play a record. Ricky's having a heart attack. We'll come back.
The music of tomorrow is here.
XFM.
Well, the music of tomorrow is here.
That's true enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
XFM
It's been some sort of muck-up with the post.
Rick, a lot of the times when I've played Hip Hop Hooray, my hip hop track of the week,
Yeah.
you've sort of scoffed, you've thought that maybe I don't have credibility amongst the hip hop fraternity.
No, it's just the way you dance.
Well,
It's merely the way you dance that worries me,
Mm-hmm.
because people can't see it really, and it's sort of like, imagine if Mr. Bean thought he was in D12. You know what I mean? It's that sort of. And I don't diss you. I mean, I know you're a hip hop appreciator. You know, as
I
Mr.
wouldn't
Next
expect you
Man.
to diss me. I'm a black queen. But the point is that there's a little something that Carl's got on tape for you that I think might change your opinion of my whole hip hop credibility.
Oh no!
Now I've told you in the past.
It's not
you know,
a videotape, is it?
Not at all. Not at all. Actually, Carl, just play it. Just play it.
Yo, 1 2 1 2. We are the Dilated Peoples, chilling on Hip Hop Parade.
That's right.
With Steve Merchant, y'all. XFM 104.9. LA to London, Dilated People expanding them.
All day.
Now,
Who got
how
that?
about
You did
that?
that, Carl.
That was just when I was hanging out with my homies.
No, did it? Did they come in the week?
They were in the week, I think, and somebody got them to do it for him.
You know, no, that was when I was just hanging in the crib with them. Yeah, no. I was
That's
just hanging
very-
with
that's
them,
very nice of
and
them.
the guys just laid down some beats for me.
Yeah.
You know, just laid down some vocals, and I gave them max respect for it. You know, and the place was mad deep with girls at the time.
I assume you're going to play Dilated Peoples this week then.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
Let's play it, Carl.
that's very good.
Merchant, y'all. XFM 104.9. LA to London, Dilated People expanding them.
Respect, guys. Cheers very much. Out of here. Yeah, guys, just maxing there. Lovely. Good to hear from them. Good to hear from the boys. I'll probably be heading over to LA, NYPD, and just you know, chilling with them.
I'd love them to meet you.
You're having a laugh.
I'd love them to meet you.
We would hang out. I know all the jokes.
It's that thing they do on MTV or X, like being Dilated Peoples, and
Yeah.
they come in, they make us three look
Yeah,
like
look
a
like
rap
Dilated Peoples.
group. Wouldn't that be great?
Listen, I told you before. I've always remembered the words of Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yeah.
Bitch is a bitch and a hoe's a hoe. But if a man be acting like a bitch, he's a bitch ass homie.
Yeah,
Alright?
sure.
Those are the words from the
Sure.
street.
I would. It'd be like you two had won a competition or something. Do you know what I mean? Like and that.
I just don't think you can believe it that I'd just be hanging out, you know, with
Sort
them
of like
in the crib.
people of courage, and you get a chance to meet your favourite. It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Listen, we were talking earlier about the fact that Bruce Lee, and it's a well-known fact,
Yeah.
he faked his own death so he could continue his undercover police work, as opposed to being the
Because
biggest
no one
movie
would.
star.
You know, he doesn't
No one
look
was
different
spotting
to
him.
anyone else.
I was talking to someone as well recently who utterly convinced, and you get this quite a lot, don't you, especially Americans, that Elvis Presley's still alive.
Yeah.
And I think, wasn't there some statistic, like more people believed Elvis was alive than believed evolution? Was that right?
Yes.
Something like that?
No. No, it's something worse than that. It could be something.
It was something like that. It's something like,
mad,
I don't
isn't
know,
it?
it's something like 42% of Americans
Yeah.
believe that Elvis Presley has faked his own death and is still
Yeah.
alive, right?
Yeah.
And there's this whole book that's been written about it, because, Carl, you might be interested in this. I know you're always fascinated by things that have been written down and therefore a gospel.
Yeah.
And
And then you don't have to
apparently-
revise yourself. You just learn off Ian
Exactly.
Wright. Yeah.
But apparently, the reason that Elvis is still alive is that there's a number of sort of pieces of evidence. One is that none of his family could agree which colour pyjamas he was wearing when he died. That's
Yeah.
evidence, apparently. Apparently, you know, he was an honorary member of the FBI. Well, apparently his signature appears on FBI documents well into the 80s, long after he should have died. Apparently no one can agree. There was sums of
a
money
lot
that
of
only...
a lot of fat people in dungarees have seen him.
Yeah. There's sums of money which apparently only he could have given authority to have transferred to other bank accounts they've moved.
Yeah.
So this is all evidence that Elvis is still alive. And a lot of people was understood this guy, and he was saying, yeah, well, of course, the thing is, the pressures of fame were too much for him, that he faked his own death so that he no longer had to be this huge icon, you know, he could live an ordinary life. And my query has always been this: if Elvis faked his own death, do you think the method he'd have chosen is to have shat himself to death whilst on the toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, but because he picked that, nobody will doubt it.
So Elvis went to the FBI.
Yeah.
What do you make
yeah.
of it?
Well, exactly. So what we're saying, Carl, is that there was lots of methods open to him. You know what I mean? It's all. He didn't go to his secret police and go, "Oh, I'm fed up. I want to fake my own death." You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
go, "Yeah, that,
Yeah, and what methods have you got?
I like to be found shit myself down the toilet.
You like to do what?
I want to be a big fat mother on the toilet, just shitting myself to death.
Right,
just on my ankles.
Yeah, Elvis is a good idea. I'm just wondering if there's maybe something a little bit more glamorous for your favourite death. I mean, you could take a bullet for the president.
Huh. What, and shit all over him? Just shit.
No,
myself?
no crap at all.
That'd be what you
No, you just take a bullet for him, or you could.
There has to be shit involved.
Why has it got to be?
There has to be shit involved.
Why has it got to be crap?
I want this way. Oh, make it happen. Yeah, it's probably Carl head in hand. Look. Yeah, he's worried about the things we say.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We haven't offended 1.2 billion people.
Yeah,
I didn't
a
offend-
fifth of the planet.
So, Carl, what do you make of it then? Are you
Like I
convinced
say,
Elvis is still alive?
am I getting him mixed up with someone else?
Because all Elvis,
No,
all Elvises look alike.
Because
Now that is true. A lot of Elvises do look alike. That's safe.
on his gravestone,
Yeah.
didn't they get his name wrong, or is that his brother?
Who's his brother?
Aaron.
That's his middle name.
Yeah.
You're not an Elvis kind of expert, are you?
Hold on, wasn't Elvis one of a twin that
Yeah,
died?
that died, and I'm sure they got his name wrong on a grave or something. Oh, I don't know.
But that's consequently that's proof he's still alive.
No, the thing with the still alive thing, like I say, he picked that awkward death because nobody would be saying, hang on a minute, going round upsetting the family, wanting to talk about it because they'd be embarrassed to be saying, you know, he was found sort of
Yeah,
in a pile of mess.
weighing 25 stone.
Yeah. So
Because you notice he also expanded to a huge size as well, so he was just a huge fat blob of a man. He also did that to add, extra.
So the glamour.
I don't quite understand these people who fake the deaths because.
Well, a lot of them
how does it
don't.
work?
A lot of them don't, Carl. This is what, in a roundabout way, we're saying. We're saying that a lot of people that say people fake that they
Well,
didn't,
who
like
else?
Bruce Lee
Who else has said
and James Dean and Elvis Presley. We're saying they didn't
No,
fake
but
their deaths.
he did die, didn't he? His head come off, didn't it?
Very good.
Who's this?
James Dean?
His head came off.
There is a light that never goes out. The Smiths, XFM 104.9. Nearly through.
Absolutely.
2 hours of chat, great music.
Bloody good music,
Carl
of course. Yeah, it's been
speaking
fun.
before
He
he thinks.
thinks.
By the way, you know when he was talking about Mowgli? You know he was going to talk about Mowgli and you said, what are the gremlins called?
Yeah.
Were you thinking of, Mugwai, Mugwai.
Yeah, but they
To
were
be
still
fair,
they were
called
gremlins.
gremlins. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
but-
yeah. I know what you're thinking. I know, to be fair.
But my girlfriend won't be listening now, so she'll still think I'm a bit daft.
Why would she ever think that? How long have you been going out with her?
About 8 years.
Well then, why would she ever think you're daft? That's the only stupid thing you've ever said, the Mogwai thing. Why would she ever think she's going out with a, to be honest, a retard?
I think it's a very beautiful relationship you must have, because it's odd. Like, I mean, she's a professional journalist or whatever,
Yeah.
and she works for Radio 5 or something.
BBC Sport.
BBC
TV.
Sport.
So
And you're a man who never
presumably,
even got
her
her exam
English
results.
quite good. Is English quite good? Her?
Really good.
Yeah.
So,
And did she do her exams?
yeah, she's quite bright.
Sure. So what do you bring to the relationship?
I think take the pressure off her.
Take the pressure off her to do what?
You know, like when she's had a stressful day and she comes home and talks to me, I think.
Yeah.
You would relax me, and that's the truth. I, honestly, but Carl, he can just go, wow, it's all right. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't. He don't get stressed. He sits in his little booth in there. He doesn't talk to anyone. His little sound booth all the week, and you're in your own little world, aren't you?
Well, it's interesting because I wonder sometimes what your aspirations are. I was thinking this. I was watching a repeat of Family Fortunes on Challenge TV last night,
I hate that.
and it was sort of mid-80s one. And I don't know if it's still the case, but it was the aspirations of the contestants. Were
Yeah.
so kind of. It was like, and what's your hobby? Well, like to go out when it's nice weather and
Oh.
stay in when
Well,
it's
if you
not.
if you win £2,000, you'd probably be going out when it's nice, can't you? Yeah.
And she was like, well, and I sometimes like to watch TV, and I was thinking, wow, man, you've really got some incredible
But
dreams there.
what
It's
I-
just like that, you're just waiting to die, aren't you?
What,
That's
what
all
I
you're-
feel sorry for, right? Two things. In like Stars in Their Eyes, and you get a little fellow, and he's gutting fish in some sort of factory in Bolton, and he comes on, and he does, something like Bobby Darin, okay, and Matthew Kelly comes out after and goes, well, I don't think you'll be going back to the fish factory. You will.
You will be going back.
You will.
Straight back,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
think of
don't
all the
wind,
Stars in
don't
Their
wind
Eyes
him up,
stars.
Kelly, because that's a nasty thing to do.
I'm trying to think of all the Stars in Their Eyes contestants that have gone on to great things.
What happened to that little fella that looked like the little Alsatian puppy that did Krista Burr? He looks a bit like Krista Burr. He looked like he had problems.
Well, now what was it? Is Ian Moore his name was?
Now he was.
Well, it's interesting. My friend bought me as an ironic gift for my birthday. He bought me the live video of Ian Moore, You'll be pleased to know that Lady in Red was on there, among a number of other hits. But it was brilliant. It had a picture of Ian on the front. It said Ian Moore, naturally.
I didn't know it was too big for him as well.
Of course. It was ludicrous, but I don't know if I meant Ian Moore, naturally, like we all know who this guy is, it's Ian Moore.
Yeah.
Or was it Ian Moore, he's no longer being Christopher, he's just natural.
What did he sound like when he wasn't being Christopher?
Christopher.
Did he really? Because he met him, didn't he? He met.
Yeah. Well, Christopher, I think Christopher couldn't wait to get back on the telly.
Well, the thing is, I think Ian Moore is actually earning more than Christopher now. I think
They could have got Christopher on there.
Yeah,
as a contestant.
you can get Christopher for £1,000, but Ian Moore's going up for 1,200 now, just a PA to a DAT. But he does Lady, he does all the hits. He does Don't Pay the Ferryman.
Yeah.
Don't even set a price. Does all those.
Interestingly, I saw him interviewed once, and Lady in Red's not his favourite song.
You're joking.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
But he was only going to play that if it was the fat ginger Sarah Ferguson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was only if she was wearing some red.
He was only going to play that when?
Yeah, well, it was a live thing, and he was only going to play that if she was wearing red or something.
Right.
Didn't
That's
her
beautiful.
freckles count?
That's beautiful.
No, so luckily she had a red. That must have clashed with her a bit.
Yeah.
A red scarf on her face.
And the highlights in your hair that catch the light.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful lyric.
Never seen her looking so lovely as did. The thing is, right? He misses a rhyme there. He goes, "I'm gonna ask you to dance, looking for a little romance." Now he could have said dance, couldn't he?
I met a man once in a bar. I was talking to him for some reason. I was annoyed by him. I was wound up by him, and I said that I'd written Lady in Red, and I never got any money for it because I found that he was like a music lawyer, and he went, "Well, give me a call. I'll investigate that." And he was actually going to do it for me. I love the idea of that. I was just
Why did you say that?
really bored, and I didn't like him much, and I thought that was
Why did you choose Lady in Red though?
Because I think I was singing it with a friend of mine, and
Sure.
he came over and went, "Oh, good voice," and I went, "Yeah, I wrote this."
What pub is this?
It was North.
Is it?
Yeah. Never seen looking so lovely as you did tonight. So,
Never seen-
anyway, that's enough of my Christopher anecdotes.
Yeah.
That's very much the end of the show.
And it is. It's been a great show.
Hang on, have I got time for a song for the lovers, or have I missed that?
No.
If you give it me
Of course
now.
you have. Yeah. What are you gonna play? What are you gonna play?
What, are you going to play a song now, and then we've got time for it afterwards?
No, you'll have to give it me.
Yeah.
Right
Oh, I better
now.
dig it out. Well, can you keep
What,
people
yeah, what
entertained?
have you chosen? I'll keep it going.
Well, a friend of mine who keeps making me little compilations has stuck on an old Tom Waits track, which is from his first album, one that I've not listened to for a while.
Brilliant.
I re-listened to it. It's an absolute dynamite.
Brilliant.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Just wandering around.
Yeah. He's just getting out of his bag now because we weren't prepared for this. We sort of ran out of time. We're having such a great time with the philosophy of Carl.
What do you fancy doing anyway with your future?
Me?
You know, I'm just going to tell you now. You know we're still on air, don't you? Before it gets too casual, you know we are still broadcasting to the capital. Okay. Yeah. What do you fancy doing with your future?
Well,
Steve?
once I've made all that money from suing Christopher, my future, I'm living my future, man. I wanted to have some good mates like yourself and Ricky.
Yeah.
You know, Carl, I wanted to be on the radio. I
We're
wanted
going
to
to
play
be
great
we're,
songs.
we're like the Three Musketeers, me, you, and see. We're like the original Rat Pack. We're like Ocean's 11. I'm Sinatra.
Yeah.
You're Sammy Davis Jr. and you're what's his name? Dean Martin, aren't you?
Yeah, or Joey Lawrence. What's his name? Joey Lawrence, not Joey Lawrence. Joey Bishop.
Joey Deacon.
Joey Deacon.
My dad said the ending on the old one's better than the new one.
We should definitely get your dad in, man. That would be just dynamite. When people get tired of you, we've got the whole Pilkington family to do.
The whole gene pool.
Have you seen it?
No, Carl, have we got time for this now, really, mate?
What
To be fair, okay, it's track number one. The interesting thing
This
about
is
Tom
shocking.
Waits is that this is from his first album, and he doesn't sound like that kind of gruff, lived-in guy that he wants to.
He didn't
actually sounds
smoke.
something of a crooner.
Yeah.
But this is a track called Old 55, which bizarrely I think might have been covered by the Eagles. But anyway, I think it's a really lovely track, really beautiful track,
I'll see you next week.
and we'll see you next time.
Say goodbye, Carl.
So yeah,
Say sorry
for what?
for if you offended anyone.
I didn't. So if I say sorry, that's saying I'm guilty.
This is Audible.
Aristotle once observed, law is order, and good law is good order. A seemingly simple concept, but the realities of making those good laws and enforcing them have troubled society since time immemorial. From community service to capital punishment, everyone has a view on how we protect the innocent and punish the guilty. Is one man's law another man's tyranny? Is justice available to all? Does prison work? Should we lock up lawbreakers and throw away the key, or does that fail to address the root causes of crime? To discuss these questions and more, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick. Hello. And Carl Pilkington. Look at that fucking head.
Right.
So, Carl, Law and Order.
Not that interested in it, to be honest.
What do you mean?
I've got no interest in Law and Order whatsoever. It's not part of my life. That's the problem. You keep picking topics that don't buzz me.
Of course they do.
They don't.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
You're a man quite obsessed with Law and Order.
Based on what?
Well, law and order is basically to protect the innocent, isn't it? I mean, when we think of law and order, we usually think of crime and punishment, but it's all about protect our person. We have the right to walk the streets without getting mugged. When someone wrongs us, we want justice. It's fundamental. And you do. You were sitting in your old flat in London, phoning me every day that you wanted to go downstairs and smack their heads in for being late and shouting around and being drunk, and you could hear it. You wanted some justice.
Yeah, but nothing would have happened if they called someone up and said there's people doing noise pollution. Even though there's a law for noise pollution now, it's not really taken seriously, is it? Well,
but you are concerned with law and order.
No,
you
but there's
wanted
no
your
point.
rights, and you
Point,
ended up
quiet.
moving. He's moved in now. He's moved to lovely sunny Hampstead, just down the road from us. So you're having a better life.
Yeah,
So
but I shouldn't have to move because of some noisy people.
no, you shouldn't. But I'm saying you were
Because no one
stressed,
cares, though.
and you wanted justice, but you thought you couldn't get justice, so you moved away.
Yeah, so
which
I
is-
dealt with it in my way.
Yeah,
I
right.
hated them.
Right.
Because they didn't care about anyone else.
Exactly.
But the police wouldn't get involved. There's other people who live round there who had to put up with it. But no one cared.
So what did it feel like every night when you were trying to watch telly, and it's hot, and you got the window open, or?
Yeah, you could just hear stuff, and it's that thing of you get a lot of tourists in London, so they're talking. It's not even as if you can listen in to what they're saying and have a view on their opinion because they follow.
Was that entertaining for you?
Well, yeah, because if you can hear what people are saying, you go, yeah, that's a
Switch the
good point.
telly off.
There's some
I
sort
don't
of-
want to hear anyone talking. I'll tell you what, I really feel sorry for people with like neighbours from hell. Because it's, I mean, I'm not saying it's justified, but I can see why people go mental with someone when they're bullied or, constantly harassed and no one cares. And when you can't go to the police, and go, there's a bloke next door, he's got his television loud, he's always pissed, he's shouting about, if you don't do something, I'm going to go around there and crack his head in. You'll be the one that...
But isn't it your own fault for living in central London?
Well, not really, because it wasn't always like that. I'd been there years, and then all of a sudden, good fellas turn up. They sat down there making a racket. What can you say to them? You call down, they can't hear the phone ringing.
Could I just say that Goodfellas wasn't a pizza joint? He
No.
called the loud people that because he thought they were gangsters.
Right,
They
sure.
did what they wanted and sat outside and...
Yeah.
So, but it's louder. I think it is louder abroad than it is here. Whenever I go away on holiday, I always notice that it's always a couple of decibels higher.
Really?
Always. Like the sound of bird noises and that are louder abroad. Because they're trying to get a nut above the noise of the noisy people.
No, that's not true.
They are. When I was in, where was I? Menorca or something. It was like lying there. If it wasn't a noisy local, it was the people in the villa next door. If it's not them, they suddenly collected the bottles from the bottle bank. That's a nice noise when you're just relaxing. The bottle bank. Pop that there where the villa is. So that was a racket. There was always there was just so much noise.
Animals, creatures,
You can't escape it. It's the one thing you can't escape, noise. Your ears never turn off.
No.
They're always there.
But I've told you before, wear earplugs if you have
I
to.
don't like
But
it.
he doesn't like... He says he can hear the sound of his own art.
Well, there's always a sound. Like your eyes, you can close them. My eyes close all the time, and if I don't like the look of something,
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
if I don't like the look of something, they close before even I've thought about if I want to see it or not.
What do you
Straight
think?
ahead.
What do you think exactly?
I just mean if I see something on the telly or like one of those casualty programs or something,
Yeah.
it's like my eyes know that I'm not going to like the look of it.
But no.
So they
you're-
close
no,
quicker.
no.
My ears, they seem to be interested in everything. Even though I'm not.
What I mean is, you can't close your ears.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't.
what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't. You can never.
So that's
no,
why
I like the idea that your eyes are closing when you were. Oh, I was watching that.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
have your eyes ever closed something that you're going?
No, but we normally get it right.
Your eyes aren't
They
making
normally
any
get it
decisions. You're making decisions. You turn away because you don't like seeing something. You don't turn away, and then you're going, "What was that?" And your eyes going, "You don't want to know. You do not know. You don't want to know."
I'm just
Carl.
saying anyway.
Lovely pair of tits here. Oh,
I just mean noise pollution. It's the one thing you can't escape.
It seems to me, from what you've said so far, is that these things happen to you and you feel wronged, but you either want to close your eyes and ears so you can't tell it's happening, but it's carrying on, or move away from it so you're not a victim anymore, but it's carrying on. But the thing about law and order is, you don't have to take it. You don't have to walk away. You can do something about it. You can combat being wronged. And I suppose we associate that with justice. It's not just punishment or retribution, it's justice. You want to know that you're valued.
well, this is a big issue, isn't it, Rick? Is one life more important than another? If you've transgressed in a terrible way, you've murdered, raped, whatever, and I say I'm going to put you to death because you do not belong in this society. You are too transgressive. What's to stop me? Why is that wrong? Why is that a morally wrong thing to do?
Well, this is an interesting argument, isn't it? Whether capital punishment. Now, I don't agree with execution. State execution of someone, whatever they've done, for many reasons. But the main one is, I don't think you can have a state that shows that sort of violence against an individual, whatever they've done, and expect people to accept the very code and morality of treating people equally and not showing violence towards them.
Carl, where do you stand on the tricky issue of capital punishment? You've given it some serious thought, I imagine.
So what you're asking me, like, should he be on death row?
Well, should someone flip the switch, send him to his death in the electric chair?
Yeah.
That was the least considered.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a little bit of flicker behind the eyes. I don't know what. Well, just take us through the mental process that you arrived at the yes with there. So you now remember that because there was quite a brief gap there.
I just was thinking, it's not a nice job if you're working there and you've got to flick the switch.
Right.
But I was wondering if it's possible to just do it so it's linked up to someone's switch
What do you mean?
when they put the lights on something. So it's like sometime tonight when the sun goes down and people start putting the lights on in their house, it could happen. But we don't know what household. They might be away on holiday, so you might get an extra 2 weeks. But at least that way, because for me, the worst.
You should say that.
This is not the question I asked was whether we were talking about the morality of whether you put someone to death.
But he was thinking
He
about
was thinking about literally the practicality of flipping the switch.
Well, no, I think that aren't you talking about the integrity of the person who knows or knows not that they've put someone to death, like a firing squad, like
Yeah.
what they used to do sometimes in the First World War when they had 6 riflemen, but
On the
5
way to
were
the-
blanks and one and no one knew.
If they were the person that killed them.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, you do agree that someone should be put to death for a terrible crime, do you?
You've got to have something there to stop them people who don't care, haven't you? Nature's done it in a way with bees. They've gone, we'll give you a weapon, but if you use it, you die. And that's like the bee. So they're worried they're going to go, I'm
That's
not
what
going to do
we
it.
do, weren't we? We have people saying, 1, you can't do that. That's step 1. Here's the law. Don't do it.
But there's a lot of people who
2,
go, I'm not bothered about the law. I'm not bothered about annoying people.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
for them, at the end of the scale, you've got the chair, and you stick the wires on their head, and we'll fry your head. And they go, oh God, I don't want that.
That doesn't always work, does it, with being put to death? Because as a deterrent, most of the crimes aren't just crimes of gain with that. Some of them are crimes of passion, where a deterrent doesn't count because you see red and you go crazy and you're angry and you kill someone. I think a lot of those crimes the deterrent isn't relevant. You know, things like armed robbery, maybe, where it's a risk. What can I get versus what my crime? Maybe then it might be a deterrent. But then, of course, if you start to get a capital punishment for crimes that aren't murdering someone, then that thing brings in you might as well murder them, because then you've got more chance of getting away with it. So it's very delicate what you make people be killed for.
You've made an interesting and reasoned argument there, Rick. I'm looking forward to hearing the riposte.
Right. When I was younger, I used to nick Mars bars.
Okay.
Right. Now, I did that then, and I knew that